After months of student and faculty protesting against budget cuts to Nevada education, the efforts have had an effect. Now the question is whether they paid off or just postponed further cuts to the budget. College and university presidents met with the Board of Regents last weekend to discuss the state's budget situation, and although the original budget cut threats of 22% and 10% were not carried out, a budget cut of 6.9% cuts have been finalized and will be made to the Nevada system of education.
I stand here with this incredible dichotomy of not feeling good about this, not feeling good about what is to come, but being sincerely appreciative for the reduction in the cuts.
So if the budget cuts have been reduced all the way down to 6.9%, then why is everyone still upset? Well, there's a few reasons.
If you're 6 feet underwater and you're 4 feet underwater, you're drowned either way. Isn't that right?
You could drown in that much water, that much water.
And that's the problem with these cuts. They just go on and on.
So after the 6.9%, there will be more, you see?
Yeah, they'll go into this next legislative session. They won't have any stimulus money this time. They won't have the tax money that they passed, because that all sunsets. The amount of deficit is going to be $3 billion, not $2 billion. And so what are you going to do? Close the whole goddamn state? I mean, that's what they're talking about.
There is a bridged process with what's happening with the budgets of our colleges. It's not just each institution on their own. And I think you need to understand that. When one takes a hit, we're all suffering severely.
The 6.9% budget decrease translates to a funding cut to higher education of $46 million and includes a budget reduction of $116.8 million in K-12 spending. Each higher education school is now taking steps to decide where these cuts will be made.
Right now, UNLV released a list of about 20 programs, the most expensive programs to run. That doesn't mean those are the ones that will be cut, but that's sort of the baseline to then decide how they will review and analyze which areas need to be reduced. From the information I had, and I think it's public, from what they've been talking about the last couple of days, they're looking at 5 to 7 programs potentially that could be reduced or eliminated.
Within the next 2 weeks, we'll have a first round of proposals that will come to the faculty committee. It's joint faculty and administration. They'll deliberate, they'll pull in the faculty senate, they'll follow all the curricular review procedures just as Dr. Glick has described, and at the time that they're completed, they'll go forward to the cabinet and to me. I don't have the number for the whole campus on the top of our head, but it's about 11-12 million. Just for the main campus, it's 9 million.
What parts of the school are going to be cut? What's going to be influenced most by this?
We're going to reduce 5 million, if we can, from administrative support areas, which is very difficult because we've already cut about 21 to 22 million from those areas, and we'll be looking at another 4 million in savings from the academic side, most likely delivered in a series of horizontal and vertical cuts.
Future budget cuts are already on the horizon, but are there any alternate routes to avoid them?
They need to tax the people.
Do you see that as a possibility of it actually happening?
I think it'll happen, because I think if it doesn't, there's not going to be a state in Nevada.
How long do you think it'll take for that to happen?
I think they'll pass it, I hope, well, they only have 120 days to pass it, starting February 1st, so it's got to be done by June 1st, and they better start talking about it the first day of the session.
Nevada students and faculty may be happy for the moment, but they better gear up for more protesting and fighting to save state education in the near future.
So, on the one hand, we did have a small victory in avoiding the 22%, which would have been absolutely devastating. But at the same time, we're still losing some, and so we got to double our efforts this upcoming year. We will have the luxury of more time, because this time we were kind of going day to day with not knowing when the session was going to be, kind of everything being held real close to the vest. This next year, we know when it's coming up. We know what the issues are going to be, and so once this summer begins to unfold, I think we're going to really have to have a lot of activism, the same as we've had in the past, except probably even more, because of its even greater challenges ahead.